connecting the dots between the Trump campaign and Russia.
And after 3 years of lies, the Russia hoax is finally dead.
I solemnly open the debate on the impeachment of the President of the United States.
President Trump today has been acquitted.
Speaker Nancy Pelosi appeared to take the speech in her hand and rip it in half. Wow.
This is no time for Donald Trump hysterical xenophobia.
One way you get rid of Trump is a crashing economy, so please bring on the recession.
We will burn down this system.
I'm hit left and right, left and right.
This has been the most peaceful week these streets have seen.
Facebook says it's taken down Trump re-election campaign ads.
Over 300 videos were taken down.
They are erasing everything.
But the Chinese say China would prefer Joe Biden.
Jobless numbers, the unemployment numbers for the month of June, going to be absolutely terrible.
We built the greatest economy in the world. I'll do it a second time.
Appears to be a stunner. Much better than expected.
The U.S. added 4.8 million jobs.
1.8 million jobs.
Greatest comeback in American history.
No matter how hard they try to stop us, they can't. Protected your family, you defended your dignity, you recaptured your destiny, and you took back your country with that great election. You have always been loyal to this nation. Now you finally have a president who is loyal to you. With every last ounce of heart and hope and sweat and soul, we are going to make our stand. We are going to stand for liberty. We are going to stand for justice. We are going to stand for freedom. And we will make America great again. And I'm fighting for you, and I love doing it. And I will never, ever stop. And you know that. The forgotten men and women will never, ever be forgotten again. And ladies and gentlemen of this country, the best is yet to come.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? It's time for the final countdown. The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's rock.
Hey guys, welcome Friday night. Hey, I'm sorry I didn't do my podcast last night. My son had a hockey tournament down here in Gaspé, Quebec. For the people that know where Quebec and Gaspé is, it's like in the tip of the Gaspésie area. It's in the middle of nowhere. Beautiful town, love it here. Beautiful tournament. His team is once again won both games today, with my son playing probably one of the best games he's ever did. I'm very proud of him. A lot of the people, he made 1 goal today and 2 assists. One goal today in the second game and 4 assists out of 5 points. So he contributed to all the goals for a 5-0 win. So I'm very proud of him for what he accomplished. Obviously, he's got big boots to fill when he's got his father watching him. So anyway, that being said, guys, welcome Friday night special. I'm sorry again for not getting this live out yesterday, but it is what it is. And again, for the people that follow me, you guys all know that I'm banned on Facebook until January 19th. So that's less than 9 days away. So I'm sure you guys can bear it for 9 more days, and then I'll be back to normal. To be honest with you, it's hard to do lives when, once again, most of my followers still don't do the YouTube thing. They rather do the Facebook thing. And once again, I told a lot of people it's just a matter of time before they ban this account for life on Facebook. I think I'm on my last warning. So again, for the people that are following right now, they're not much of my usual followers, but I'll copy and paste it, send it to Sean Freedom. He'll throw it on my wall, and I hope everybody of my Freedom family will get to see it. Anyway, first things first, guys. Let's start off by today. CBC voted for. We're going to start off with Canadian news because it's a big joke. So CTV News, CBC News has voted and has said that Chrystia Freeland is the most. It's like Woman of the Year. She has a lot of integrity. That this is not a lie. I'm trying to remember what exactly because I don't I don't follow too much when it comes to Canadian news. Woman of the Year, integrity, hard-nosed, driven, and always there to get a deal. Listen, okay, there is nothing with common sense when it comes to Chrystia Freeland. Plain and simple. You should see her past. I thought I had a past. You should see her past. Her past is bad. And for her to be in the House of Commons is a complete shame. If they ever did a real criminal check and a history on her, she would never be allowed in the House of Commons. And I mean, obviously, we all know who her grandfather is. And, and her interviews with the old George Soros back in the late 80s and stuff like that. She was a reporter, guys, a reporter. Anyway, enough of Freebase Freeland. The Wicked Witch is gone. She gave up her spot today because she literally had no choice. So there'll be a lot of things coming out on her, obviously, slowly but surely, because that's God works in mysterious ways. That's number one. Number two, again, Carney has gone to China, and he's gone to China for reasons I don't even know. I personally, if I had to take a stab out of it, it's to piss off Donald Trump. All right, literally to piss off Donald Trump, because obviously Donald Trump and China don't get along. That's the whole reason why with the whole Greenland, which I'm going to get to, in Venezuela and all that stuff. So with that being said, he's doing this on purpose, guys, because the whole point of Mark Carney is to sink the Canadian economy. That's his number one goal. For the people that don't know and can't hear in the back, Carney's main focus and goal is to sink the Canadian economy. That was the plan. That's always been the plan. It's the same plan that when he was the Bank of England, when he was the bank of, when he was in charge of the Bank of England, he literally destroyed the economy. And when you have the Prime Minister of England coming out and saying that he was the governor of the Bank of England, or I think that's what it was, and he destroyed their economy, and she came out and said, and I put this on my live one night. She was actually very disappointed in Canada for ever electing someone as corrupted as Mark Carney. So with that being said, check who else is going with Mark Carney to meet up in Beijing. Check this out. You guys wouldn't be surprised. That's right, Michael Ma, guys. So MP Michael Ma, the floor, I like to call him the cross-dresser, that I trust Chinese as much as I can throw them. Let's put it this way, especially Chinese and politics. How he ever got in is a complete. It shows you how corrupted the system really is when you have a Chinaman that is literally wasn't born in Canada and was put in that position, and things are coming out about him on a daily basis, and it won't be long before he's kicked out anyway. But anyway, Michael Ma will be accompanying Mark Carney to Beijing. I wonder what that's for, huh? I mean, it could be some translation. Now, this was always pre-planned in advance. He was always put in there as a plan. Just like this, guys. You have our own CSIS people from the RCMP, all right, coming out and going out on record saying that these people, remember these people, guys? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Now, you're not going to have these whistleblowers and these CSIS and RCMP officers doing reports about all of these liberals and NDP pieces of crap. And look at them. You got Carney, of course, and Trudeau, and you got, of course, that Singh. Who puts a Pakistan or a Singh or a Silk in politics? That's the second worst thing you could possibly do. You got Guibo, of course. You got Freebase Freeland, Jolie, of course, Tammy Yan or whatever the hell you call her, Tammy Jing Chong Ching, whatever you call her. She is no longer. People think that she's still circulating. She's not. Of course, Doug Ford, Dominic LeBlanc at the bottom, and the other Pakistan person that's the Minister of Resource at the very bottom. I can't see their name, but all of them, every single one of them have been reported to be compromised, and they're still there. You know why? Because the Liberal Party have put a bill in that politicians can't be held accountable while in power, just to let you guys know. And speaking of Canadian politics in power and how stupid they are, check this. That's right. Ottawa announces $200 million for Black-led organizations. That's right, guys. $200 million for Black-led organizations. Listen, all right. I mean, not to be, to sound, and I don't use the word racist, all right, because that doesn't exist in my category. But this is all for definition. And now I'm going to take the filter. I'm going to put the filter in for now for about a minute. And I'm going to talk about, listen, you don't give a dime to anything that you put the color in front of you. So with that being said, you can't do that, because what that does, that causes division, pisses off the people, and they're doing that on purpose. All right. They're doing that on purpose to piss off the Canadian people. The exact same way what they're doing with the Native people. All right. With the whole land grab and tax-free breaks and all this stuff. It's all about division. All right. But let's do common sense here. All right. What do you think what it really means for Black-led organizations, what the whole purpose of that is, and what could it possibly be that they can accomplish doing this, honestly. So it's very frustrating to see that, but it's no surprise, to be honest with you. It's really no surprise. So with that being said, let's share a couple of video, guys. Wait till you see this. You're going to like what Mario up north has reported. It's not going to be a shock to you guys, but check this out.
No wife, no children. Basically, my parents and siblings are all I have in terms of family.
Sweet.
So it would be a very strong incentive for me to have them join me here while they still physically can.
But those plans have been put on pause as the federal government announced it's no longer accepting sponsorship applications for parents and grandparents in 2026. The sponsorship program allows you to invite your parents or grandparents to become permanent residents in Canada. As a sponsor, you are responsible for providing them with housing and financial support.
This might actually be one of the stupidest things Canada's ever done. We have been bringing in the world's elderly and the sick into the country, utilizing our resources for people who have never paid into our tax system ever. Let me put it to you this way. Our taxpayer-funded healthcare system is being overloaded by immigrants that have never paid a single dime in taxes. It should go without saying, seniors are the most frequent and highest users of our healthcare. It's because they generally suffer with multiple chronic conditions. So how is it fair to the seniors in Canada who worked their entire life, paid into a tax system, paid significant taxes because healthcare isn't free, it's funded by our taxes. They pay into it and they can't get proper access because we're bringing in the world sick. I would never expect to have my children bring me to another country and my healthcare be fully funded by that country, even though I didn't pay a single dollar. And to go one step further, old age security, that should never, ever be accessible by anyone who has never economically contributed as a taxpayer to the system itself. It makes no sense for our tax dollars to be funding foreigners to come here for retirement plans. Canada is not a retirement plan. Canada is not some sort of retirement haven for the elderly and the sick. And to that gentleman who appeared on that video, I say it respectfully. You chose to come to immigrate into this country and we welcome you. And yes, I think there should be a path where your parents and grandparents can come here, but they have to pay for the healthcare. You have to pay for their healthcare, not us. And until that path is available, this path should be closed permanently.
Can you imagine that? How stupid and ignorant and idiocy, I think I made that word up, that Canada imports, and I did this live before, I think it was in the summer, that Canada was importing the elderly and the sick to come to our country to get free healthcare. It doesn't take a rocket scientist or a brain surgeon to figure out that the Liberal government really want to destroy the Canadian economy. And this is what makes me very angry when you have people that do peaceful protests to stupid things when you see the government doing this. And you should know that if the government is doing something like this, that's how brain dead and the loss of mentality and common sense people have in Canada. If you can't see that the Liberal government is bringing in millions of immigrants and elders and their kids and their parents that are sick and old, that will and cannot contribute to the economy, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that, hey, there's something going on here. They're trying to demolish, they're trying to literally destroy our economies, literally put us in so much debt that our grandchildren's grandchildren will still be paying for it. This is why I call out, and I've been calling out for the other podcasters like Moose on the Loose, Mr. Sunshine, The Pleb, Mario up north, that for all of us to get together on this all-star podcast that we would do probably once or twice a week, just to get thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people to watch our podcast together, given and spreading this information about the Liberal Party. Instead of wasting your time on watching the fake heroes of Tamara Lynch and Chris the Red Barber driving the truck that's got money in his bank account from robbing the fundraisers, and Pat King telling the truth of all of them. No, that's got to go. All right, people got to let that go. When I tell you that, it's just smoke and mirrors, it really is smoke and mirrors. All right, everyone knows, and whoever doesn't know, they're probably vaccinated or they're just a Liberal voter. If you still haven't figured out that Tamara Lynch and Chris whatever Barber, Big Red, are not con people, then that's your problem. Let's move on. Let's get going, and let's get these podcasters together with myself to spread the gospel, to spread the world, instead of them doing this individual podcast and making money off the podcast on YouTube. If they really cared about Canada, we would all get together on certain nights of the week to combine our viewers and make it like a news channel, but obviously with common sense and truth. That would be the best way. If anybody knows Moose on the Loose, David personally, or the Pleb, or Mr. Sunshine, or even Mario, let's get a hold of these people to combine forces so we can, beat the evilness that's happening in Canada, and basically educate the hundreds of thousands of people. If we all put ourselves together, all our viewers together, is to educate everything. Because at the end of the day, I mean, if the Liberal Party ever stay into power for 4 years, we are completely gone. We are completely will not exist as a Canadian country until Trump takes us over, of course, because we are really still are the 51st state. For the people that don't know and people can't hear in the back, we really are the 51st state. Until you guys figure it out, I'm just going to let you guys, do what you do. But check this out. On top, you got the Russia. The government pays the mortgage of Russian families that have 4 or more children. That's right, guys. Russia, bad man Putin In Russia, the government actually pays the mortgage of a Russian families that have 4 and more children. But in Canada, the government brings in foreigners and immigrants, and they pay for them. They don't pay for the Canadians. They don't pay for Canadian families. They pay for immigrants. So make that make sense, guys. I'm going to keep that one there because that one's a good one. That one's a good special one. That one needs to be spread just like peanut butter on jelly. It really needs to be announced and advertised because that's just a common sense. Okay, so I think that will be it for Canada because Canada is pretty boring. At the end of the day, I really don't care for Canada. Obviously, we're going to feel the pain, the crunch before before the Liberal Party is voted out in April. The only difference is how much pain, like the Democrats, how much pain and suffering and how much in debt they're going to put us in on purpose because they know they're done. They know their goose is cooked. All right, to be honest with you. So with that being said, is how much damage can they do in the next 4 months? That's what you guys got to be watching out for. All right, so let's talk about what's happening now in the United States. Obviously, it looks like a damn civil war. Minneapolis again. What is going on in Minneapolis? Because when the whole George Floyd thing pulled off, that was in Minneapolis, guys. There is a lot of corruption in Minneapolis, and they really need to focus. All right, they really need to focus and clean up that state of Minneapolis. So I'm going to show you a video of the girl that got shot. For the people that don't know, this person, this female who's married or whatever to another lady, and I'm not going to use the word lesbian, but they are lesbians, are paid agitators. You got to understand that these people are professionally paid to agitate the government. All right, it's many. You even had the female that lost her life, or without the filter, that deserved to lose her life. Her brother-in-law went on TV and literally said, what the hell was she doing in Minneapolis? Number one, obviously, she was paid. She had no business being down there, and she's got 3 kids, a 16-year-old, a 17-year-old, and a 5-year-old, if I'm not mistaken. So he couldn't understand why she was down there and not minding her own business. And this lady was she was literally intimidating and antagonizing the ICE agents for days. All right, she literally was doing this, and they knew who she was because they seen her at all the ICE outings. She would be trying to stop them with her vehicle of proceeding, so they just got sick of her. All right, they said, screw it, we're cleaning house, she's coming with us. So that's why she knew her goose was cooked, and that's why she did what she did. Now I'm going to show you the actual cam, the body cam that was on the officer that actually shot her, because there's people going out and say this was a false flag and this was AI generated to cause animosity. No, man, it wasn't anything. All right, this cop that got almost hit is the same cop. All right, check this out. He was the same police officer, the same agent that was dragged 30 meters and under a car and got a bunch of stitches done to him. Same concept, same incident, but a few years ago with the same type of people. You understand? And he wasn't having any of it. So check out this 41-second video and see for yourself.
That's fine, dude. I'm not mad at you. Show your face. I'm not mad at you. That's okay. We don't change our plates every morning, just so you know. It'll be the same plate when you come talk to us later. That's fine. U.S. citizen, former. You want to come at us? You want to come at us? I say go get yourself some lunch, big boy. Go ahead.
Out of the car. Get out of the car. Get out of the car.
Oh!
So as you can see, her lesbian friend, lover, married to, was antagonizing once again. And if I know you guys probably didn't hear it, but she was saying, "Drive, baby, drive," because they knew their goose was cooked. All right, they knew they were getting arrested because the ICE agents had enough of those two, and that's all they were doing is antagonizing all day and following the ICE. And when the ICE were trying to do their job, they would interfere, and they were doing that constantly. So do I have pity for this person? Hell no. They all should be run over. They all should be disposed of. See, these are the type of people why I support the depopulation agenda. I 110% support and always supported the depopulation agenda. I just wish that WEF and George Soros and all of them would call me and say, "Hey, Jeff, why don't you take a trip down here in Davos, Switzerland, and talk to us about how we would do the depopulation agenda a lot better than what we've been doing in the past years of poisoning the food, chemical trails, vaccines, wars, drugs, all that." I would come up. Give me about a day, not even a day. I would come up with a better solution on how we could depopulate the useless eaters. And that might sound cruel to everybody, but you know what? I'm so sick and tired of this nonsense because it really is nonsense at the end of the day. This doesn't need to happen. All right. It really doesn't need to happen. And it's going to get worse. All right. It's definitely going to get worse because they're going to use this. The news are pumping it out. And they're pumping it out on an hourly basis. They're trying, the news, they know what they're doing. So they're trying to rev up the situation. You understand? That it was that she was innocent and she was a hero, and the New York Post went out and put the leftist warrior and stuff like that with her face, and you could see that if you think that this person was a warrior or a savior or anything like that, then you are the problem. And I have no problem of them depopulating any way, which way they need to do to get these people fixed, because they really are animals. They really are. I don't care what anyone says, but they really are mentally unstable, and most of them are animals. And they all look the same, right? They all look the same. You can tell. Well, I'm not going to say they all, but 90% of them all look the same. And then I watched one today that they yanked out this girl in a car, in a car, the ICE agents, because she was following them and honking the horn and being, intimidating them and basically edging them on, I guess is the best word. And when they yank her out of the car, she was fighting like there was no tomorrow. All right. And the news tried to make it seem like she didn't know what was going on. She thought that these people were robbing her. No, she knew. I mean, guys, the whole thing with the virus and the whole thing with corruption is your news channel. If the best advice I can give everybody, right, is one, turn off your news channels, or two, if you want to protest and do something about this, you go to your local news channels by the hundreds, if not the thousands, and you start roasting marshmallows. That would be the best thing to do to get rid of these news stations, because they are paid propaganda to cause chaos. And this is the only thing that I disagree with Donald Trump, even though he's my hero, is Donald Trump needs to forget about the whole thing with law, all right? Because he goes by law and regulations. And I would shut down every news station across the United States. I would shut down any news station across the world that were reporting anything negative. Forget about this courts and procedures and policies and lawsuits and stuff. No, man, shut her down. It's the only one thing I disagree with Donald Trump of. Stop being so following the rules. All right, be a true leader. Bend those rules, but you're bending them to save humanity. All right. It's the only bad thing. I think sometimes when I think about Donald Trump, when he allows these news stations to do this, sometimes I wonder if he likes them to do it on purpose. You know what I mean? To stay relevant, to cause chaos. Because to be honest with you, I know what's going to happen. I know if he starts doing this, they're going to. I know Americans are going to say he's a dictator and this and that. But you know what? You have the U.S. military. You have the National Guard. You have the loyal police officers. Not all of them are loyal. You've got those loyal police officers. You start arresting people. You start putting them in like FEMA camps, like Alcatraz, alligator Alcatraz, and you get them to stay there 1 month, 3 months, 6 months. And I'm going to tell you, that's going to smarten them up, guys. Believe you me. And speaking of smartening up, speaking of the ICE agents, I don't know if you guys seen that there was a Hilton hotel in the United States. When the ICE agents tried to book the room, this Hilton hotel, which is a franchise, they said, no, we don't want any business from any of the ICE agents. Well, I knew that wasn't going to turn out pretty good. So what the Hilton main franchise company said is, no, you can't do that, and we're going to do something about it. So check this out, guys. So the Hampton Inn, who's associated with the Hilton, they canceled the DHS agents. They lost their Hilton franchise, and Hilton came and took their sign. That's right, guys. So they literally fucked around and they found out. So now they are no longer recognized as a Hilton, just to let you know. So now they're probably going to just fill it with immigrants, and whatever state they're in, if it's a blue state, obviously, which it is, they're just going to use tax-paying money, dollars, to fill those in with immigrants. That's all that's going to do until the immigrants are shipped back, and then they got nothing else to do. People ask me why I love this man, Donald Trump, and you got that retard, Mr. Freedom, he calls himself, the roofer, the bearded Viking, saying that Donald Trump is not here. No one's here to save us and all this shit. I can't wait to come off Facebook because I'm going to go at that guy hard. I mean, I'm going at Mr. Freedom hard. He'll definitely block me. He says he's a man, but I'm definitely posting on his wall. I'm posting on his comments. I'm letting it have it. And I don't even care if he apologizes and says he was wrong. I'm still going hard at him. I can't wait. He'll be the first guy that I get on the Facebook to attack on his wall, to call him what it is. I see it and I'm going to say it as it is. Don't care. Don't even respect the guy anymore, to be honest with you. But check this out with Donald Trump. Like Mr. Freedom calls himself when he said that he's a politician. Trump's not a politician. Trump's never been a politician. Everyone knows that. Anybody with common sense knows Trump's not a politician. He doesn't consider himself a politician. He considers himself a businessman, and I consider himself as a savior. All right? That's probably the biggest thing. But check what he says about the Somalians, because you know what? If I was in politics, politically incorrect would be my brand. All right? Check what he talks about and what he says about the Somalians, and that's how I feel about the Africans that are moving in all across Canada, but specifically in New Brunswick. This is exactly how I would talk if I was into politics.
And they contribute nothing. The welfare is like 88%. They contribute nothing. I don't want them in our country, I'll be honest with you, okay? Somebody would say, oh, that's not politically correct. I don't care. I don't want them in our country. Their country's no good for a reason. Their country stinks, and we don't want them in our country. I could say that about other countries, too. I can say it about other countries, too. We don't want them to hell. We have to rebuild our country. Our country's at a tipping point. We could go bad. We're at a tipping point. I don't know if people mind me saying that, but I'm saying it. We could go one way or the other, and we're going to go the wrong way if we keep taking in garbage into our country. Ilhan Omar is garbage. She's garbage. Her friends are garbage. These aren't people that work. These aren't people that say, let's go, come on, let's make this place great. These are people that do nothing but complain. They complain. And from where they came from, they got nothing. They came from paradise, and they said, this isn't paradise. But when they come from hell, and they complain, and do nothing but bitch, we don't want them in our country. Let them go back to where they came from and fix it. Okay. Thank you very much, everybody.
My God. using the word garbage and these people are useless and I don't want them here in the country. Well, Mr. Trump, that's exactly without a filter, my friend. I hope to one day be able to shake your hand and definitely take a picture with you. I don't care what anybody says. Oh my God, I can't believe you said that about a whole Somalian race. Obviously, you people never visit Somalia. Obviously, you people are brain dead if you ever could even think for yourselves, which you can't because you drank the fluoridated water and your pineal gland is completely shattered. All right, common sense is out the door when it comes to that. But he said everything that needed to be said about the Somalian people. Now, I guarantee he's not talking about 100%, but we're going to go out and say it on a limb. About 95% of Somalians are useless. They destabilize the economies. They're leeches. And I could say the same thing for Pakistan people and Punjabi people. They're the exact same thing. I had a video, and I can't believe I didn't save it and put it on here, with India, with the amount of garbage in India. It's disgusting. There's literally like a ski mountain. And the guy's like, that's not a mountain, where you can climb. That's a mountain of garbage. All right. And these people just do not care. When Canada is trying to do this whole thing with carbon capture and carbon tax, listen, I can guarantee you, Canada, with the amount of trees, does not give out carbon. And even if they did give out carbon, we also got to remember what trees and what carbon does for trees and plants. You need carbon to survive. It's a grade 6 biology question. All right. To cause photosynthesis, you need carbon. But anyway, most liberals don't understand that. I don't know what they did in biology. To be honest with you, I think they were probably asleep in that class. Most of the liberals are French, so there's a lot of French schools that I know of that literally don't teach their kids. They're like giving out diplomas and degrees like if it was candy. I know because I can name a couple people that still to this very day. I'll talk about my best friend, Sebastian. He's got a master's in marketing, and he doesn't even know what 9 times 7 is. I still tease him every time I go to Columbia. I ask him a couple of math questions, and he still has to look at me like a deer caught in headlights. And he's got a master's in marketing and sales. You think with a master's in marketing and sales that math would be like second to you? And he graduated from the University of Moncton with master's. 2 more years, he would have a doctorate in marketing. That's scary. But that's the French schools in New Brunswick for you. I can promise you, they're not too educated. So with that being said, I think that was it for the videos that I had to share. Yeah, I think that was the videos I had to share. The other videos were with the natives in New Brunswick, especially. But I'm going to do that one night when I'm back live, where I can get interaction with people to show them what the natives across Canada are trying to do, because obviously the focus is off of them with the whole bullshit land claims and all that. And like I said, I hope civil war comes, to be honest with you. I really do hope civil war comes. I'm anxious for it. I mean, it's a whole depopulation agenda for me when I think about it. You know what I mean? It'd be great. Let's just put it that way. With that being said, guys, I think that will be it for tonight. We've been going on for what is it, 40 minutes now. I'm going to keep it short, I guess you could say, for now, because I'm not in front of my computer, so it's hard. I'm stuck in my motel with my son and my girlfriend on the other side, probably listening to me. And it's squinting. It's hurting my eyes on this little cell phone of trying to do this. So with that being said, I love you guys all. Thank you. I'll be back home and to do my live Monday night. But again, you have to until January the 19th, guys. I am banned from Facebook. So once I get back on Facebook, I'm going to literally make people to add me to YouTube, add me to Rumble, add me to Kick. You understand? Add me to TikTok. Either way, they need to add me besides Facebook if you really want to pay attention. And because I won't get banned on YouTube. It'll be very rare if I get banned on YouTube, to be honest with you, because I don't monetize. So they don't want to give money out to people, so they rather cancel their account. When you talk about the virus and Justin Trudeau and liberals and stuff like that. And I'm unlike Tanya Truth Seeker. you know, the fraud she really is. I wish people would pay attention, just like the fraud Tamara Leach, just like the fraud Chris Barber. They're all frauds, but you guys don't understand what Titania Truthseeker has done. And I'm actually doing a little compilation, I guess you could say, on the little history on Titania Truthseeker that I'm working on, that you guys are going to wake up and smell the coffee and stop following this person and say she's really got balls. She's really talking about a lot of things. Yeah, that's just common sense. But the problem is she's making money from doing short videos with you guys. She doesn't do podcasts like this because she doesn't make money on this stuff. You understand? And you guys call her a true patriot. No, people that are doing these lives for the past 5 years, not making a dime, but actually costing us money to do these for you. We're the true heroes, like Mario up north. We don't make money doing this. We're doing this to help the people. Unlike Titania Truthseeker, who is a fraud, but people tend to follow her for some odd reason. All right, some odd reason. Who's an immigrant that immigrated to Canada. Now she immigrated to the United States because she couldn't put up with Canada not paying her videos and her TikTok, so she moved to United States so she can be monetized in her videos. That's what Titania Truthseeker really is. But I forgot, it's Tanya Setkick now, because Truthseeker was hacked. But that's not true, because Truthseeker was registered in Canada, and when she found out that she wasn't getting paid, she went, told people she got hacked, moved to the States, put her account, changed her name to Setkick, or whatever she pronounces it. Now her new TikTok is registered in the States, where she'll be monetized. That's not a hero, guys. That's what we call a grifter. That's the number one definition of a grifter. And you guys are falling in the same grift like Titania Truthseeker, like you did to Chris Donkey Thief Sky, just like Tamara, the karaoke singing Indian grandmother, just like Chris, the Red Barber, phony bully on social media. They're all drifters and grifters. Anyway, guys, I love you guys all. I'm going to finish the video with a little kick-ass, because the weekend's here. You know, with I love the weekend. I'm watching my son play semifinals tomorrow, so I'm going to do a little Dropkick Murphys, because you know the weekend is here. I hope you guys enjoy it. Let's kick off January. Let's get rid of January, because it is the worst month of the year. I love you guys all. Take care. And like Don Cherry says, you people hold that line. Adios, amigos.